A match that could completely change everything in Group K of the 2026 World Cup. Because while everyone is focused on England, Messi's Argentina, or Brazil, today it's the turn of one of the teams always favored to compete for the World Cup title, Portugal. And facing them will be a team that many consider one of the dark horses of the tournament, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. At first glance, it doesn't seem like a very tough opponent, but it's a very physical, very intense team, and they want to deliver the first big surprise of the World Cup. But before the match starts, there's a question that millions of fans are asking themselves right now. Where can you watch Portugal versus the Democratic Republic of the Congo? What time does it start? On which channel is it broadcast in each country? Because, of course, depending on where you're watching this video, the schedule changes constantly. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to explain absolutely everything. The schedules, the official channels, the possible lineups, and the players who could decide the match. I'll also tell you why this match could be much more complicated for Portugal than people imagine. But wait, because there's a fact that very few people know. Portugal comes in as the favorite, that much we all know. But that's precisely what makes this match one of the most dangerous of the entire opening match day. Because when everyone expects an easy win, that's when surprises happen. It already happened to Spain against Cape Verde. And this World Cup has already shown us that nobody, absolutely nobody, gives anything away. So let's get to what's important. What time does Portugal play against the Democratic Republic of the Congo? The match, of course, takes place today, in a few hours. These are the official times depending on the country you're watching us from. Goodbye. In Spain at 7 in the evening, in Portugal at 6 in the evening, Argentina at 2 in the afternoon, same as Uruguay, also at 2. In Chile at 1, same as in Paraguay, which is also at 1 in Bolivia, also at 1 in Venezuela, at 1. In the Dominican Republic, also at 1 in the afternoon, Puerto Rico, at 1 in the afternoon. Also, in the United States, Eastern Time will be at 1 in Central Time, at 12, and in Pacific Time at 10 in the morning. In Mexico, Mexico City will be at 12 noon. Also in Costa Rica, it will be at 12, the same as in Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, Panama. Afterwards, to watch it in Cuba, it will be at 1 in the afternoon, in Brazil at 2 in the afternoon, and in Canada, Toronto at 1 in the afternoon. Now then, where can you watch the match? Because there are a lot of people here who don't know, but in Spain you can watch it on RTVE Play. In Portugal, it will be broadcast by RTP. In Argentina, it will be offered on TG Sport and D Sport. In Mexico, you can watch it on Tuden and ViX. In the United States, it will be available on Fox TV and Telemundo. In Brazil, it will be broadcast on Globo and Sport TV. In Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru, you can watch it on D Sport and DGO. In Chile, it will be broadcast on Chilevisión and D Sport. And in most countries, it will be available through the operators with World Cup broadcasting rights. So now you know, if you still weren't sure where to watch it, now you have no excuse. But be careful, because this is not just any match. Portugal comes in needing to win, and that completely changes the pressure. Because they're in the same group as Colombia and Uzbekistan, and dropping points in the opener could make qualifying much more complicated. That's why Roberto Martinez wants to come out from the very first minute with all the firepower, with a team full of stars with a very clear objective. Send a message to the rest of the World Cup. And why not say it? They also want to show that Cristiano is above Messi. They've always tried to do that. I don't think that's ever going to be the case, but they're going to try after Argentina's 3-0 win and Messi's 3 goals. They're going to try in every possible way. The projected lineups look something like this. For Portugal, they could start with Diogo Costa, Joao Cancelo, Ruben Dias, Gonzalo Inacio, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, Joao Neves, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Rafa Leao, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Honestly, an impressive team with a lot of quality in every area, but on the other side will be the Democratic Republic of the Congo, who also want to pull off an upset. With players, as I said, who are very physical and extremely fast, and footballers who compete every week in the best European leagues. And here comes one of the key players in the match. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, because every time he comes to a World Cup, people always say it could be Cristiano's last. And every time Portugal plays, everyone wants to know if he'll score again. But we also shouldn't lose sight of, for example, Bernardo Silva. By the way, Today it's set to be made official that he's joining Real Madrid. Then there's Bruno Fernandes, a great player for United, Vitinha, one of the best players right now, and Rafa Leao. Players capable of deciding a match with a single play. Now, a lot of people think Portugal is going to win easily. That's the most logical thing. Because on paper, Portugal has a much better team than Congo. They run a lot, they press high, and when they win the ball, they launch a quick counterattack. If Portugal can't move the ball quickly, they could struggle a lot more than expected. Also, there's another very important detail, the goal difference. Because in a World Cup, a lot of group standings end up being decided by exactly that, and Portugal knows it. If they have the chance to score 3 or 4 goals, they won't take their foot off the gas. I'm absolutely sure about that. So now you know. The match starts in just a little while. Portugal wants to start the World Cup with 3 points. The Democratic Republic of the Congo wants to pull off the first big surprise. Or what would be one of the first big surprises of the World Cup. And we'll be following absolutely everything. Remember that this same channel will bring you the best commentary right to your home. We were here last night, 3 in the morning, Spanish time, with Messi's Argentina. We've been at the best matches of the World Cup, so don't forget to hit the like button to subscribe. Because remember, we've got a special challenge. The wonderful challenge of reaching 500,000 subscribers during this very World Cup. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to, that will happen. And if you don't want to, well, nothing happens at all. Because we'll be just as happy either way. Also, if you still don't know where to watch the match yet, you've got all the times and all the channels right here, depending on the country you're listening to me from right now. And now there's only one question left. Will it be a comfortable debut for Portugal? Could Cristiano Ronaldo score a hat-trick? Anything's possible. Will we see, for example, Vitinha take control of the midfield and dominate the match so that Portugal gets the win? So that Portugal gets all 3 points? Will Congo pull off one of the big surprises of the World Cup? Well, if you want to see it, just hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Because here on Barca Hoy, we bring you the best of the 2026 World Cup. Don't miss it. I've already given you all the schedules. I've already given you all the channels. So you don't miss absolutely anything. If you don't want to watch the match, that's fine. But we've already made it super easy for you. Super simple. So you arrive at the right place at the right time. Portugal, Democratic Republic of the Congo. You live it, you feel it here on Barca Hoy.